And the sponsor of today's video is the English language, Fuck German. For some reason, I wanted to do a video about propaganda. Maybe because I think it is a very interesting method of manipulating people into thinking that something is good or bad based simply on one side of the conflict. I guess you all know what propaganda is, but I'd still like to define it and bring some examples of successful and not so successful propaganda. So have fun listening to me talking. Propaganda. Propaganda has often been associated with a manipulative approach. Propaganda, according to Wikipedia, is information that is not objective and used primarily to influence an audience and further an agenda, often by presenting facts selectively to encourage a particular synthesis or perception, or using loaded language to produce an emotional rather than a rational response to the information that is presented. Propaganda is often associated with material prepared by governments. But activist groups, companies, religious organizations, and the media can also produce propaganda. Great! So what does this all mean? Basically, someone tells you half-truth or straight-up bullshit in a way that is biased against a third party or particular beliefs. So why is there so much successful propaganda like communism is bad, North Korea is bad, Uncle Sam wants you, white men are born bad, and of course Hawaii pizza should not be considered to be pizza, even though Hawaii pizza is one of the best pizzas out there. So shut the fuck up and fucking fill your fucking filthy mouth with this fucking great delicious pizza, you fucking c***. Of course, some of those points may seem to be the truth to you, and I don't say that it's not the truth, because I hear the same news and watch the same media as you do. But if we only see one side of the coin, of course we will form an opinion according to our built knowledge and will not deny the facts which we were given because we don't have any other information that could disprove our opinion. In school, for example, we had North Korea as a topic, and I noticed that our geography teacher hasn't said anything good about North Korea. And don't get me wrong, I don't know if there is anything positive about North Korea, but it did appear to me that it was a nice example of propaganda in school. Or let's take another example of propaganda in school. If we're talking about something bad in USA, some teachers in my school just sometimes talk about this being only Trump's fault, and I'm sure that this is propaganda. I don't like Trump, but it is just irresponsible and completely biased to just put the problems of a whole country just on one person. Sounds like propaganda, but okay. So why is there propaganda? The most obvious reason is probably because it is easy to have an enemy on who you can put all the hate of the population. Easy speaking, it is much more complicated than that, but I think you get the point. Propaganda was very prominent during the Cold War. If you want an example of today's propaganda against certain people, then you should just look at PewDiePie's portrayal in the media. He's mostly depicted as a racist who just hates Indians, Jews, and all sorts of people, and is in general just an awful person. But what media doesn't talk about is him making huge donations towards various charities. So, in my opinion, PewDiePie is actually a good guy, and we can see an obvious distortion of PewDiePie's image. Sub to Pewds, by the way. Another way of propaganda is when a famous person has a certain opinion and spreads this opinion so that the general public starts following the celebrity's principles. It doesn't even necessarily have to be something big, like it could be just the way the person dresses or something like this. And the last way of propaganda I quickly want to mention is religious propaganda. Some priests or missionaries or whatever are constantly talking about God showing them the divine way which everyone should follow. In general, I consider religious texts to be propaganda written to influence people's opinion and their morals. Anyway, even though this video may appear to be pointless, I do want to put some moral into it. Question everything someone tries to sell you as truth, because maybe this person is just propagating his opinion. I hope you liked the video, but quickly before I finish, a little shout out to Dominic. You asked for a shout out because you gave me the book, and yes, this is his book. Thank you, Dominic, for giving me the book. It's really great. Read the book. And you, Dominic, here is your shout out, and see you sometime in the future. Goodbye.